Salve of peace.
Salve of peace.
It's like, I've got this balm. And you're like, no.
You could take my recipe and then like refine it down to like a more concentrated balm.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because it's 2d6 plus my wisdom modifier, so it's a more potent.
It makes sense that it's concentrated.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's got more aloe in it.
It's an ointment.
How did I not think of that?
Well, speaking about ointments,
Yeah.
why don't we get to this week's episode of Reflex Save?
D&D is an ointment for the soul.
Oh, I like that.
That's a good
D&D
tagline.
appointment.
The only modification I would make is that I think D&D is a salve for the soul.
Okay.
Okay, D&D is a salve.
The double
for
S
soul.
is important.
No. No, it's
No,
not.
I didn't. I specifically said double S, not the other thing.
Still double S.
I'd avoid double S's where possible.
Well, I mean, Commodore has that SS Commodore.
And that was
Oh,
a
that's
bad
true,
idea
yeah.
of them.
And now Holden doesn't exist, so...
That's not 100% true. It's the... What are they? Voxels? Anyway.
In Europe.
Do you guys remember what happened last week?
We had a feast.
We did. It was a bittersweet
feast.
feast for some. Must be
Post-dragon
said, Callan.
feast.
Post-dragon feast.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Are we, though?
Are you?
Are we?
Carnelian is.
Well,
That's good. I'm happy for him.
I mean, Carnelian seemed very calm to watch Svieta take someone's hand and then turn into a spider and run away.
There must have been a good reason for it.
He's got a very open mind and he's a very easygoing chap.
While the three of you were feasting in the main hall, Svieta had some personal time to herself. But by the end, we left with Svieta and Horacio having a moment, shall we say, near the Charnelian dragon that had fallen.
What if we kissed under the shuttle and dragon?
Pale moonlight.
What's
What's the status of the moon? Can we see it?
Are you gone yet? Wait.
don't know.
Am I a wolf now?
Oh, shit.
So that was at the uphill climb, the tavern that was partially destroyed down from the care, and that's where we left off. So I think Svieta was heading back to the care, who hadn't been a part of the festivities as thus far, and Horacio was still out there contemplating.
So I think the last episode I was after the discussion with Svieta, and I called out to her and said I was proud of her and I hope she found her god. I'll go back to the dragon and resume just touching the shuttle and see how it feels. And I guess I'm also I'm talking out loud, like I'm addressing Callan, like what do you think of this, Callan, kind of thing. But I'm also kind of just sort of talking to myself as well a bit. But I think I'm kind of just mentioning him and sort of framing it like I'm talking to him, see if he's listening. And just trying to, just get a gauge on the situation of, where I'm at and where I want to be. He's not saying much out loud, but I think there's a lot going on internally at the moment.
And I think one of the things, being a cleric, you are in tune with the deity that gives you your power. So every time you use a spell, you feel Kalemvor's power through you. But, you haven't really had much to compare with. You're still a fairly new cleric when all's said and done. So
Very, what? A month?
Yeah, but even then, I mean, your power is growing and growing and growing. Not all clerics really get this kind of strong.
I think this is a record. Level 7 in a month. Take that, priest.
It's just like training in the hyperbolic time chamber. Anyway, you get this sort of feeling that, when you use your spells, you get this kind of feel, this divine feeling that flows through you, but you don't have much to compare it by in other powers or energies. And you sort of feel that around you now in a very vague sense, or a very, there's nothing direct. You don't feel like when you're using your power, you can feel it flow through you. It's just sort of...
Yeah, it's
around.
a sensation I'm still not entirely familiar with.
Yeah, but you don't hear anything. It seems that Kalemvor, as far as you know, is a god of few words.
I'll just sort of, to myself, and I'll make my way back up to the cairn as well.
Okay. You head back up, and you can see as soon as you hit the courtyard, there are still people celebrating. It's probably getting now later into the night, I would say, by this point. People are drinking, over-drinking, celebrating surviving this horrible thing that happened to the town.
As Horacio's heading back towards the door, he can see Wodun in the middle of a dance circle. He's finished the 2 shanks that he had in his hand. He was saving one for Svieta, but then he couldn't find her, so he ate it. Now he's shaking them like rave sticks, and he's got his shirt off now. He's covered in grease from the shanks.
There's someone on the side going.
He's pretending that the shanks are drumsticks or
It's Carnelian playing really quickly.
Oh, you really got a lot of practice with that gecko rave in.
Yeah. He's been pent up. He's been wanting to disco this whole time.
I just can't get the image of Carnelian doing the start of Thunderstruck. And you're like, thunder. It's with your bones.
So, I think it's fair to say that Wodun is generally with the common people mixing and really celebrating being a hero, being hailed as a hero, by all these people, and dancing and having a good time, maybe forgetting some worries and things that trouble him. And Carnelian is also now making the rave sounds? Is that what we're doing?
No, he's just playing violin and making it sound like a rave sound.
So Carnelian has taken to playing for the people outside. So this is all in the courtyard. This is not even in the main hall. Does Horatio see Svieta?
I think Sveta's just in the corner, just a white person dancing. It's super awkward, but she's having a good time.
Well, you'll find that if if Svieta has rejoined at this point, you'll get approached by a number of people because they know that you're part of this group of dragon slayers that saved the town. So even if you try and be inconspicuous, as soon as someone spots you, you'll just get an instant crowd because you weren't there at the celebration before.
I'll heavily emphasize that they should definitely send their praises to Wodun, just because he's more of a people person. And I'll be very glad of their thanks, and I'll just be like, oh, you should go talk to Wodun. Maybe give him a lick. He's covered in grease. It's for good luck.
And some people do that because Wodun's very amicable and he's partying with everyone, but you still, there are people that just won't leave you alone unless you sort of
I will ask one of them for a shank.
Okay. What was it? Who was the one that was carrying the tables in the last one? I can't remember. Greg?
Oh, Greg.
Greg. He's 80 years old.
Greg comes around and all these other guys have canapé platters. He's dragging a table of shanks.
Of course he is.
Miss, you want a shank?
Oh, fantastic! Thank you.
Oh God,
Take
Greg.
all right, Wodun, I got a shank.
Greg, I'm dancing. Can you bring the table over here?
Oh God, yes I can.
I can't reach the table from here, Greg.
As that's going, it's like, hi, Wodun.
Hey, Svieta. I had a shake for you, but I ate it.
That's not surprising.
Hey! And he keeps shaking his shanks.
Weirdo. I sent some people to lick you.
Oh, is that why everyone's doing that? I just thought that was the thing that they did here.
They're very friendly.
No, it's not. I thought you might appreciate it.
Oh, I have been.
I'll come closer just so we're not shouting.
Horatio, what are you doing? You can see your party, your friends, your teammates. I mean, whatever you consider them at this point. You've been together this whole month, and I think you've grown close. What are you doing as everyone's partying? And
as I'm walking up towards the castle, I think my mood and sort of, I guess, general disposition, I suppose, my appearance is pretty sullen. But I sort of look up and I see I see Carnelian thrashing out some lively jig, and then Wodun swinging around 2 empty lamb-shaped bones and like a madman. And Svieta sort of comes over and she's just her normal, sort of a bit, what would you say,
standoffish. Maybe?
Standoffish. I don't know what you're doing, and it's a bit uncomfortable. But I'm used to it now, and I sort of see that and sort of force a smile. And I'll actually go to I don't know what the equivalent of a bar is, if there's a little marquee they've set up.
Yeah, so inside, there's two, as I said, two big long tables that were the dinner tables. There's people still hanging around there, but in one corner there's sort of an L-shaped long bar, and there's big mead barrels, and there's some dwarves that are serving mead.
Okay, well, I'll approach the bar and request 4 mugs of mead.
And, it takes you a second because you're just sort of lining up like normal, but then a few people recognize who you are, and everyone just parts for you. And the bartenders stop whoever they're serving, and they just grab 4 mugs, fill them up, straight on the table for you.
Gods, I feel like Moses. He's parted for me.
Who's Moses?
Too long story. Thanks. And I'll just walk back out to the courtyard, and if they're all still, doing their thing, I'll just approach and say, "Oh, drink for the heroes," and I'll sort of hand out a beer and a mead for everyone.
A general cheer goes up as you sort of announce that, and yeah, everyone gives you space. Like, they're all crowding around you, but they're all giving you that sort of internal space. They're not really leaving you alone for a quiet moment necessarily.
That's okay. I'm just sort of letting them do whatever they want. I'm not paying too much attention to them. I'm more focused on our group.
Wodun's pretty sweaty now, and now that he's got a mead, he'll head over towards where Sveta's standing, a bit off the D floor, and enjoy the beer, the mead.
Off the D floor.
Yeah.
I'll take the drink as well. Say thanks, and I'll have a sip out of it, but I'm just gonna hold on to it. I'm not gonna drink any of it.
Just nursing it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do with one hand because I got a shank in the other one.
Classic party conundrum.
Yeah.
How you eat and drink at the same time.
I'll be watching Wodun.
Mage hand.
Hey.
It's true. I'll put the drink high up in the air in my mage hand so I can eat my shank.
Wow, what a day! We slayed a dragon, had a feast, had a dance, great lamb shanks.
What a day indeed. And I sort of look at Wodun like a bit too long, and then look down and just have a sip of my mead. I don't think coming here, what was it? A week now? What did we agree on?
It was like 2 weeks.
We'll say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No. If you'd asked me what I'd be doing in 2 weeks ago when I first got here, it was posted here. And I can assure you that slaying a dragon was probably the last on the list.
No, I'm pretty sure that's an achievement in the Adventurers Guild that I'm part of, riding a dragon. That's like a 25-point achievement.
That's a lot of points.
I know. I can't wait to tell them. Or, I just wish... And you see, he kind of deflates at this point. I just wish that Beefcliff could have been there with me, He would have loved that.
We'll find the wizard and get it back, hopefully.
I wonder if that's something that we can do now that the dragon's taken care of. We could look at finding Beefcliff.
Although, how do we even attempt to find him?
Maybe if we just make our presence known, because I still don't believe he knows exactly where we are. If we make our presence known enough to him, to his sight or whatever wizards can do, maybe he'll find us.
I think a warlock taking down a dragon is a big calling card.
I'm writing a song with you in it.
That sounds pretty good.
I think, if anything, we should just remain vigilant. I think, like you said, Svieta, if there's any chance of him noticing us, it would be right now. There would be no biggest call.
So should we stay here, or to make sure he comes and sees us, or what should we do?
I think he can see us regardless. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I don't know if it's just he sees certain things, but I feel like if he can sort of sense where you are, and he sort of knows your signature, magical signature or whatever, maybe he can just find you wherever you might be. If he can identify your signature, perhaps you're always going to be on his radar.
Kind of creepy to know that just some man is watching you.
It's just a theory.
Yeah. Although if we go to Bryn Shander, there's that other wizard that was talking to us. And maybe they know a bit more, because that was a wizard that hurt you. She might know about calling cards on people or whatever you were
Yes, that's a fine idea, and I believe we were sort of agreeing to head to Bryn Shander anyway, so perhaps that would be another good place to visit while we were there.
I mean, we did, accept her help already. It would be pretty rude to not go and see what she wants.
Oh, hey, Carnelian.
Hey, Carnelian.
How long have you been there?
Ever since the music stopped.
Oh.
I wasn't paying attention.
He's such a good sneak. I'm very proud of him.
Your boy.
Oh, actually, it's the clerk.
Oh.
Playing the music?
No, the
The sneaky... the Puefwe.
Puefwe?
Spider cloak.
It's the spider cloak we found in the... I have a sneaking suspicion that all that treasure that we found down there actually belonged to Drow at one point.
Wait, what treasure?
You know, the elven golden mask, the spider headdress.
Oh, the treasure room.
The Demogorgon statue, the sneaky cloak made out of spider silk.
Belong to who now?
Dark elves.
You know, when Svieta went full bear mode and tried to kill us all.
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Or me. I think it used to belong to Drow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't think it's important. It's just... It's all very spidery.
Wand of Web. Yep, checks out.
How's your drink, Wodun?
Nearly empty. How's yours?
Here you go.
Oh,
Give you
so
my
you don't have to
beef.
go to the bar.
No, you don't.
Thanks, Sveta.
You're welcome. How many have you had tonight?
I've lost count.
Good.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
Here we go.
It's fantastic.
4. An adjusted 4.
So what I would say is that you are effectively...
He just falls over at the end of that sentence.
Do you?
Your Wodun is quite drunk. However you want to play that. Poisoned would be the standard thing for drunk, but I'll let you play into that how you want.
Falls over shirtless in the courtyard.
Covered in grease and leaks.
Can I make a reflex save to try and make sure it doesn't fall on his head?
You sure can make a reflex save.
Thank
My
you.
favourite save.
Carnelian would like to try and rescue the drink.
Priorities.
So also make me a reflex save.
Look, Wodun falls on the ground all the time. It's fine. 16.
14.
So as Wodun starts teetering backwards, Svieta deftly steps behind and props him up. Maybe grabs under the arm, under the shoulder.
Yeah.
He's very slippery.
He is very
So
greasy.
sticky.
And at the very same time as the drink goes upwards, Carnelian manages to grab the tankard out of the air, and as all the liquid's starting to go, he just sort of Spider-Man's it, so it all goes back in.
God, he's quick.
He is quick.
So just as I catch Wodun, I want to tune into your guys' heads so it's not verbalized. Take Wodun to his room. Help me take him to his room. I want to ask him a couple questions while he's inebriated. Because he's been acting very strange, and I feel that this is a good time.
Tap, tap, tap. Is this thing on?
Hello?
What do you want to ask him? I'm a little concerned.
Well, you showed also concern that he was trying to steal our goods and acting very strange around the Shadowlin.
Oh, you want to question him regarding his hoarding tendencies?
Yes.
I see. Yes, I think you... Well, okay, let's try it out. Let's see what happens.
It's a little mean because he is drunk, but he's
No, this is the
he's
perfect
quite
time to
deceptive
do
when
it.
he's sober.
He is surprisingly nimble when it comes to dodging that line of questioning.
Yes. Someone grab Horatio. Sorry, Carnelian. Can you grab his feet for me, please?
Yes,
and
yes,
take him
let's take it,
upstairs.
yes.
Cool.
I don't know where his
It's
room
okay.
is.
I got his meat.
Oh, great. Oh, God.
I think he's... Actually, no. Would any of us know where his room is?
Yeah,
His room is the one with the table.
He's also got a desk.
Well, yeah.
I mean, all of you
Horatio.
kind of have a desk.
I haven't asked Greg yet.
You asked for specifically to have a desk removed if it
Oh,
was put
true,
in there.
yeah.
And it was...
And it was in there, yeah,
So
Greg.
he removed it.
That's what all the shanks are on now. So you've all been given individual rooms, but together because you're all part of the same party. So you head up into the care into one of the wings, and you often passing by people who are, giving you congratulations. They see the state warden's in, and they all like, oh, just give him another drink, he'll be fine. Here, the dog. And then, after a while, you're able to separate yourselves and eventually get to Wodun's room, which you pile in. In this room, it's pretty nicely kept, and there's a bed in one corner, there's a desk in the other that has a chair sort of pulled up next to it.
All right, on the bed.
On the bed? Okay.
Well, let's swing him on. Ready? 1, 2,
Should tie him down.
Oh, this pillow's really good.
I think that's too much.
Okay.
I think let's just get him seated on the bed, and we can have a chat.
Oh, tie me up.
Let's not tie him up.
Pull the rope out of his bag and just in case.
Just place that on the desk.
Just close the door to the room and lean over him. I don't know how to start this. I know it's my idea, but that's all I got.
All right.
You're gonna talk to
Carnelian
me.
will jump up onto the bed.
Oh,
Wodun,
Carnelian, what are you doing in my bed?
explain your recent draconic proclivities.
What are you talking about? What?
The tendency of yours to hoard gold.
Wait a minute, you're the little dragon, not me. I'm not a little dragon.
Yes, exactly. So why have you been the one hoarding gold?
I'm not hoarding gold. You are, you little dragon.
Right, there's 400 gold pieces in your bag.
Yes, they're mine. Get away.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
He reaches for it and tries to slide it underneath his bed.
He fully misses, and it's just like one of Dogcliff's treats slides under the bag.
Go get it, boy.
Explain why you have a sudden desire for wealth.
I don't. I found it.
Stop lying.
I'm not lying. Sorry, I burped.
Chris. No.
I'm not lying. You're lying.
Fuck you.
Wow.
I'm not lying.
Whoa.
I want to take out the mace and just put it on his chest.
I'll immediately reach out to Svieta. Svieta, calm yourself. I don't think this is him. I feel like maybe he's under the influence of something. And not just the alcohol. Can I,
I'm under the influence of love.
Oh, love. Love, you don't
Okay.
steal
Because I love
treasure
you
from.
guys.
Are you upset that you were robbed that one time? Wait, no, that wasn't you.
That was Horatio.
That was Horacio. Are you upset that you were robbed that one time?
I was, but I got over it.
Okay, why can't you get over this?
Because I still have the money.
Okay. Guys, I think we need to separate him from the money.
Okay, before any of that, before anything so drastic, Wodun, I am concerned for you. And I'll reach out my hand and place it on his shoulder. And as I'm attempting to just feign it as an act of support, but I'm actually going to cast Remove Curse on him.
Okay. So how does this... So you put your hand on his shoulder. How does this spell manifest?
Well, I'll put out the supportive shoulder and sort of... Because I'm, sort of get down, hunt sort of down to him a bit because he's sitting on the bed. And just, well, we're here for you. I want you to know that.
Horatio, do you want to come on the bed as well? And he
Mate.
shuffles over a bit.
Well, I appreciate the gesture, and you know what? Yes, I'll join you, and I'll sit beside him. But I will again put my hand on his shoulder because I think I was about to cast it, but then he's like, "Oh, you want to join me?" And he slid over, and I'm like, "Oh, missed it." So then I'll sit down again and again put my hand on his shoulder. Wodun, we've been through a lot in a very short period of time, and I think it's really brought us together. And I want you to know that we have your own best interests in mind. And at that point, I'll cast Remove Curse on him. So, how in terms of how it manifests, I suppose maybe his hand would sort of have a dull sort of light radiate from it, very dim light, and that sort of would sort of radiate and spread, I guess, over Wodun, but very quickly. It wouldn't last long, but you just see this, almost like a washing of light go around him.
And as I described before, that feeling you get when when Callan works his way through you, as soon as you do the spell, that is the boon that is granted by him. You can feel him working through you.
And Horatio feels a bit more familiar with it. He's sort of ready for it. And yeah, he was a bit more. I think he's a bit more in tune with it. He was expecting it, and he got what he expected, and it was a real sort of boost, I suppose.
When you do that, Wodun will kind of be like, he's got his hand on top of your hand, and he's like making very like loving eye contact at you while you're talking to him. And then as your spell goes off, he kind of like his eyes kind of like not roll back, but they look like they like go out of focus for a second, and he lets out this little short, and then just falls asleep.
What did you cast on him?
Falls asleep like drunk, I should clarify. Like he's not like dead or anything. He's
No,
just
but
passed out.
Wouldn't die.
last time Horacio cast a spell on one of us, it was like another like
Yeah,
weird
true.
thing. So.
That was in the context of religious zealotry.
Yeah, but just see, like, it's like
Support your
contextually,
mate.
Sveta just sees you, like, lay your hand on someone, and someone's like, ugh.
I cast inflict wounds on him.
And Wodun didn't heal after the dragon fight. Oh, guys.
So, question still stands, though.
So what are you asking me? Sorry.
What did you do to him?
Oh well, he's just passed out from the alcohol. Don't worry. But I had attempted to remove a curse from him. I think that he is under the influence of some evil power. I don't think this is Wodun talking.
When would they have gotten cursed?
He did touch a lot of things.
He did touch a lot of Shardlin.
That is
And
very true.
Zardarok was like not all there.
I don't think they put the crown on his head, I think they put on the gauntlet.
No, I think we magicked the gauntlet around. He did try to grab the crown though.
When did he touch so much Shadowland? Oh, ooh.
The
boobs.
statuette.
Yes.
Ah, yes, and yes, the bust.
And it did shock him with a lot of something. I know it's psychic damage.
Yeah.
Well, I think we just let him rest and just see how he is in the morning. I would suggest don't touch his gold.
Oh no, but I was going to. Carnelian's like already got off the bed and is already like going through his bag, specifically looking for Shardlin.
I'll put a blanket over Wodun.
How much Shardlin is Wodun carrying?
I don't think he has any Shardlin.
There
Except
is.
for the boobs.
Oh yeah, okay. I have the statue.
It's a lot of Shadowland.
So you rummage through his bag specifically looking for Shardlin. You find little bits and pieces that you guys have picked up throughout your quest. But the main piece that you do find is the Shardlin statuette. The big one that looks like it's shaped as Deep Durera.
We should probably like keep this away from him.
What about that hat that the demon was wearing as well? His fancy hat.
That was a hat of disguise. I think that was just how the demon was like pretending to be a dwarf.
It was a demon.
Perhaps it would be worth doing some kind of magical appraisal on both of these items. Maybe a little more deeper, see if there's something more sinister. Some sinister magics at work other than just the ones on the surface.
Yeah.
We have some pearls if you want to cast an identify spell.
Yes, that's what I was alluding to, so yes.
Does anyone have the Identify spell?
Bard, druid, and
Yeah, but you have to select it as a...
druid and cleric can both pick it
Oh,
at the
can
start
they?
of every day.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I have Dispel Magic, but not Identify.
Well, let's try and work out what we're dealing with before we shut it down.
Of course.
It might not even be either of these things. It might be something he just touched back at the castle.
can you like cast a detect magic just to see if like there like because the Shardlin radiates magic, but like not like purposeful magic. But just like let's see if we can just get like a collection of everything that we own collectively that is enchanted.
Stop tape.
Without going through literally everything on the list, all of the magical items that you have identified, so they're radiating magic as you would expect, like the Hat of Disguise, the Wand of Wed, things like that. All the Shardlin, as I said, radiate some sort of dull magic, like residue, rather than magic themselves. Although, you do feel the statue is containing more strong residual magic than the other Shardlin pieces. And doing this now... So you're doing the detect magic, yeah? So you feel the magic of the Shardlin statuette, and you're like, okay, well, this has residual magic. There's magic being held by it. And it is more powerful than the little shards, but maybe that makes sense. But you're getting this sort of feeling, and roll a a wisdom check.
Just check?
Just to check.
16.
Nice.
When you feel that magic out in front of you, the feeling you do get, and you're just sort of like trying to pick it, there is something specific that you felt before very recently that it now reminds you of. You didn't pick it the first time because you didn't have anything to compare it to, just the small shards of Chardolin. Now that it's here, there's something that you felt recently that feels similar in a way.
What do you sense?
The statue is, like, magically different from the rest of the shards.
It's subtle. It's very subtle, but it is different.
Like in a bad or a good way?
Bad. I don't actually know, but it gives me bad vibes. Vibes from this stone are atrocious. I don't know why anyone would keep it in their bedroom.
I guess if it gives you a compelling urge to hoard things, you wouldn't have a choice.
Well, I think we should definitely identify this properly. And I just realised that I can't.
Neither can I.
I don't even think it's an option for me.
No, I think it's a knowledge domain cleric speciality domain spell.
And I must be some other druid because I can't cast it either.
Damn it.
Is it a warlock spell?
No, it's a bard, wizard, sorcerer spell, if I remember correctly. But that's what I mean. Carnelian would have had to have taken identify specifically.
Yeah.
But what I'll do, because I have sort of made concessions about this already, because I just didn't want to have to deal with the whole identifying items thing. So what you could do, if you want to spend some time studying it, I will let you do a combination of checks. So I will let someone do a nature check, a arcana check, and a religion check. And the three of you together can make those checks, and I'll help, and I'll see what we can do to identify.
Alright, so...
So what's everyone's nature?
0.
1?
2.
Wait, no, sorry, my nature is 3.
3. Arcana.
Arcana is also 3.
0.
Okay, and religion?
3.
1.
5. So,
I can be helpful in one thing.
what was your thing?
Religion.
Okay, that's you. And then what were you in Arcana?
3.
And what was your nature again?
Also 3.
Oh, I'm 2 for both of those. Alright, I'll do nature. You can do Arcana. Perfect.
Okay.
We got this.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Drunk Wodun.
I'm going to inspiration that, because I want a good result.
I'm inspired by your inspiration. Oh, perfect.
15.
15.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Ooh.
12.
Tiny dice coming strong.
Yeah.
Tender days coming strong.
Okay, I think that's sufficient for what I need here. The three of you working on this together, so you're in Wodun's room, sort of poring over this artifact, pooling together knowledges you've got, and this represents not just one person doing a religion check, one person, like you're all working together. I'm just having one person roll to represent the group in each case. But like, you know, both of you have really good religion, so you're swapping those kind of knowledges. This artifact, after dealing with it more Carnelian, you identify the feeling you got from it, and it is the same kind of magical residual aura that the Chardolin dragon gives you. Additionally, the rest of, like, so the other thing is, from a nature perspective, this substance is native to the 10 towns in a way. You've done some research on this before, but really digging deep into it, it's a unique feature of the 10 towns, maybe caused by some sort of huge, magical event that happened here at some point in the past. And finally, from the religion check, making this sort of artifact out of deep air, storing magical artifact out, like magical energy in it, you do believe that this item is cursed. Wodun, having had it in his possession for a period of time, has obviously cursed him with something. You don't know the specifics, but you do know it is the cause of what Wodun was experiencing was from this. And anyone keeping it in close contact for extended period of times is in danger.
A thought occurs.
Yes.
We should have the people of the town move the Chardolin dragon's body far away from the town.
What makes you say that? Do you think it's...
Well, if this little statuette is malicious because it was storing energy, like a specific kind of energy. Like, do you remember when the dragon was like just being around it made like the townspeople start attacking each other?
Oh, I had this awful aura.
And then Wodun came up and tried to stab me again.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you're the only one that saw that.
I think you're onto something. Yes, you're right. We should get them to dispose of it far
I was
away.
thinking that they should like just leave it on the ice, and then when it does eventually melt, it can just like be the river's problem.
Just having the means to move such a dragon would be very hard.
We'd need to get the whole town to help.
Lots of rope.
There'd be people touching it for a prolonged period of time.
I can like do the. You also didn't hear that, did you?
I don't hear a lot of things that you do in battle. I was a spider.
My music helped Wodun snap out of whatever trance he was in. So if I'm there, I'm pretty confident I can help people not be similarly affected.
Okay.
Well, from a more basic standpoint, does it require physical contact? Or is it just proximity?
Unknown, but considering Wodun had it in his bag, I think it's proximity.
Well, regardless, we should do it quickly.
We should probably also smash the statue.
Do you think we
And
should
make-
explain to Wodun what happened?
Would he understand while he's still cursed? Or unless your magic helped?
I have never attempted to remove a curse before, but I don't like... Would I have noticed anything that would suggest that a curse had been removed?
Your spell certainly had an effect. I'll say that.
Okay. Well, this is the first time I've cast this spell, and it did seem to do something. So I'm very much inclined to see how Wodun is in the morning. And I think maybe go from there. I do believe that he may actually be lifted from the curse. If you believe that this item is cursed,
I believe that is the conclusion that we have come to.
well, maybe I can remove the curse from this object as well. I think I can do that.
I think you can.
Yes, I left all my third level slots because I knew I'd have to remove curses all night. Yes! I will again cast... I have to touch it. But that's alright, because I'm about to remove the curse. Set it on the table there, Carnelian. I'm going to remove the curse.
Does it weigh 10 pounds or less?
Let me look that up. Hang on.
Yes,
I can actually tell you.
ask the 40-pound lizard to lift this statuette almost the same size as him.
To a table that's the same height as
Yeah.
him.
I could lift it.
If you've got it, Svieta, I just thought he was playing with it. I think it's already on the table.
It's a 2-foot tall statuette.
Oh my god, it's
It's
almost
really
your height.
It's
big.
almost as tall as Carnelian.
I would
Spit
say
help him
that's a
out.
good... It's pretty heavy.
Up we pop.
Alright, I've only done this on Wodun. Just maybe stand back, especially because we know that this one's live.
I will
That's
stand in
a
the
good
corner.
idea. I will stand behind.
Yeah.
If I get really greedy, just kill me.
No.
I was joking. Alright, and then I just
Carnelian's already loading his crossbow.
I would never.
I like that. Carnelian's already loading his crossbow.
Okay, I reach out and I just do the exact same ritual again. Try to project this really dull greyish glow from my hand over the surface of the object.
You feel Kalemvor working through you, as I said before. That divine energy fills you, and that sort of almost that presence that's not saying anything but is filling you up as you reach forward and touch it. As you reach forward and your hand gets closer and closer to the statue, you feel this kind of pressure push back on you as you reach forward, almost like an invisible barrier that you're pushing through. And you realize as you do, your hand sort of reaches backwards as like there's more and more pressure building and sort of buffeting you. And you realize it's not a physical force that's doing that. It's almost like a battle of wills. And you're being rejected, you're being abjured by something. As you feel like you're slipping away from being able to touch this, you feel a presence almost grab, not cruelly, but firmly grabs your wrist and starts pushing your hand forward towards the statuette again. It's that same presence that you feel filling up through you as you reach forward and lay your hand to cast Remove Curse. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
I'd love to. 19.
Nice. Nice. Psychic energy buffets you as you cast this Remove Curse and touch the idol. You will take some damage from this blast of energy that moves through your mind.
If that's psychic nosebleed.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
the classic 11. So that would be 24 points of damage, but you saved, so that will be 12 points of psychic damage.
Okay, so a little bit of blood's coming out the nose, but that's all. He's also sweating a lot.
But even as you take that damage and you feel that the echoes of it rip through your mind, you also feel it fading and weakening as the willpower of Kalemvor overpowers whatever is in this statue and cleanses it.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice job. Clutch save.
The statue now feels like, if your Detect Magic is still running, Carnelian, it now feels like the other Sharded in Pieces. Inherently, it's got residual magic, but it doesn't feel the same way it did before.
I think it was complete. I was sort of rubbed the blood from my nose. Does you feel anything?
It's different now. So I think whatever you did was successful.
Horacio, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Better than fine, actually.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about the blood nose. That was good.
I'm a little worried about the blood nose, but
It's a little worried.
Don't worry about it. I'm a physician. Don't worry about it.
I'm a doctor, don't worry about it.
Okay, so it was successful?
It felt like a success, and it seems to have been verified by Carnelian's magical detection.
Something happened. It's differently magical than before. Like the random shards that we found, not like the
dragon.
Not like the dragon.
Can I look over at Word and see if anything's changed, or he's still just passed out?
Sure. Wodun, what are you doing?
A little bit of dribble on his cheek.
I'm not wiping that.
Wipe it. Do it.
No.
Do it.
Just onto the pillow.
Lose his head.
But he's got a little smile on his face.
Oh.
He's had a good night.
No, I will. I don't like the look of that. I'm just gonna take the blanket and wipe his mouth.
Prestidigitate away the drool.
Oh yeah, Carnelian watches you wipe away and goes, I could probably deal with that, but you know what, this is cute.
Well, that's good. That's an excellent way to end the night.
Yeah.
Do we leave the statue here, or do we
Part of me says leave it here.
smash it back?
Well, that's just more things of something that's already won. No.
Throw it in the river? No, it's iced over.
I'd like to consult Wodun on this.
Yes.
I believe that his curse has been lifted, and I think he should be fully, informed of what's happened. And I think knowing Wodun, I think he would agree that it would be best, perhaps, to smash this.
Maybe Wodun would like to smash it.
Yes, that would be very
Cathartic.
Nice.
yes. And he looks at both of you. I'm exhausted. I think I spent more magical energy in the last 10 minutes than I did in the entire fight. I'm going to bed. See you all in the morning, I suppose.
Bed sounds good.
Yes. If Wodun remembers, there is a Pilates class, but I won't be joining. I just want to go to bed and see you all in the morning.
Open the window in Wodun's room so that the sun wakes him up in time.
The curtains
It'll
just pushing aside.
it'll teach him to drink before teaching Pilates.
Well, if he does get up and hosts it, you know what? I think I will actually join.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to, but I think I will. Good for the soul, standing out in the snow in a singlet. It's invigorating.
I'm pretty sure your souls will not thank you for that.
Thank you for your appraisal, Carnelian. It's always appreciated. Good night.
Tim IRL also drooling.
No, well, hairy IRL. So yeah, it's similar to Horacio, yeah. It's hard having all this hair around your mouth. It goes in it sometimes.
Can't relate. Sorry. I would like to go into the room, and provided there's the one without a desk.
So you head into what's been assigned your room, and what you do see when you open it up is no desk, but some drag marks from the middle of the room, where a desk, and like it's also like off to the side of the room. There's this kind of almost shadow of dust, where a desk has definitely stood for probably even decades, but it's been moved out of the room.
The fact that Greg didn't suggest that one of them just go into this room to sleep, he just decided to get another desk.
That would definitely have been smart.
That's great. That's
great.
a great thing to do. Yeah. He loves the hurt.
You do have a nice soft bed though. Like you guys have been well looked after in this terms. Like last time you were here, you were guests. Like you'd already saved the care before, but now like saving the whole town, saving the whole 10 towns. You're treated to as good a treatment as you can get in these sort of places. And it's a comfortable bed with a nice soft pillow.
Wodun was right, it is soft. I want to like lay down and just like pull out that little tiny dragon and just like reminisce over like everything we've done the last 2 days. And just like look at it and be like, it's gone. And then eventually fall asleep.
We fade out from Svieta. Is there anything Carnelian or Horacio want to do before?
Turn around in a circle like 3 times and then curl up.
Make a little nest in your bed. You've specifically been given a different desk from another part of the castle.
Is it a shorter one?
No, it's taller, inexplicably.
It's a shelter.
It's the speaker's desk.
Someone's going to have to drag all these desks back.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I know. I've got just the man.
Horatio, anything you'd like to do?
I'm just going to kneel down on the wooden floor beside the bed, like no cushions or nothing, and probably just spend maybe half an hour just praying. I guess it would be like a combination of processing like Svieta, trying to process what we've done and how far we've come in such a short space of time, but also trying to focus on my own relationship with Callan and how it's developed so quickly in such a short space of time. Because I've only, a little over a month ago, I didn't even really know much about gods. I thought it was just some, airy, fairy thing that priests did some shit that I'd heard of. So yeah, it's a lot to take in, but this experience with the removing the curses, I think it's really reinforced his relationship with Callan quite a bit. So he's just going to contemplate that for a while as well, and then quietly stand up and just sort of nod and close his eyes and just climb into bed.
You climb into bed and you let yourself drift off to sleep. The images that echo in your head as you fall asleep is that moment of touching the statuette and the way it felt, that you were being pushed away from something, and as I said, like a battle of wills, and you felt like it was almost, you could feel that external feeling of someone or something like with you battling someone or something else. It was almost like for a very brief moment you caught a glimpse of a struggle between two gods.
I'll smirk to myself, my god's better. and then fall asleep.
You all fall asleep after a well-deserved night of partying, and after pushing yourself for days and days and days, all of you are exhausted. We haven't done this mechanically, but I think that you guys were pushing on the very brink of exhaustion. The only sleep you got was on a sled ride coming back to the 10 towns, which, whilst you got some sleep, must have been uncomfortable. This bed could have been, rock hard, and you would have felt like it was the most comfortable bed you ever had felt, even if it wasn't. And finally, you can all have that much deserved rest that you've been seeking ever since the Citadel.
Gods.
Yeah.
Feels good.
You can all mark that long rest. I know Andy's already done that.
I think I actually did, yeah. Last episode. I was like, hang on, I've got all my spells.
Wodun, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, come on, man.
Use your tower.
Okay. No, it's okay.
Because the tower rolled a 4,
Yeah.
and I just rolled a 3.
Okay, great.
Well, not one.
So,
Yeah, nat 1 for a 3.
at about 5:30 in the morning, let's say. There's a knock on Wodun's door, like a heavy knock.
What time did you say, sorry?
About 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 a.m.
He opens the door. He's already in his tights and stringlet.
Wodun is hungover, though. Heavily hungover.
Big old bags under his eyes.
And you see a group of people all in stringlets and
Stringlet gang.
all ready for your Pilates class this morning.
And I will say that at the front of them all is Horacio in his stringlet as well.
Horacio, do a... I'll let you choose. Either do an insight or a medicine check.
I am something of an insightful medicine man. I'll
That's
have
why
you
I'm giving you the
know.
option.
Oh no, medicine's even better. Can you believe that? Dirty 21?
Or for medicine or
Medicine.
insight, sorry. Yeah, Wodun is heavily hungover. That you can see. But does he see any traces of anything else? Is that all he sees, Andy?
Yep. I'm sorry, I wasn't sure what you
No,
were.
you weren't. You weren't.
It's
So-
tricky from like a medical standpoint, though.
From a
Like,
medical
he's
standpoint-
hungover as fuck.
He's
but-
hungover
Yeah,
and
what else?
dehydrated.
From this doctor's opinion, this man is cursed.
You don't feel any of those residual like parts of paranoia that have been part of Wodun's character recently.
Okay.
You see, he's very tapped, but in your opinion, he looks like he's more of his old self.
All right.
And when you open the door as well, you see he's holding the statuette in his hand. So you guys had this out last night.
And I'll just a moment of like terror in his eyes, and then I'll just take a moment and just calm myself, and with that check, like see that it actually he's holding it, but it seems okay, right?
Yep.
Because it's done. Like he's touched it again.
Yeah.
But it seems okay. So, all right. I'll say, well, good morning, Mr. Wodun. I think I should come in briefly, and I'll turn around to the stringlet gang. I'll say, just wait here, everyone. I just need to address the yoga master briefly.
Yogi.
The yogi.
Oh, but Horatio, we were ready for now. Can we do it now? And then just the door closes, and you just have people. You hear vague like complaints on the other side of the door.
Everybody, as the door's closing, everybody just sit in the hall, cross your legs, 5 minutes, deep breathing. Reflect on your past week and things that have made you feel calm. Focus on those. Close your eyes, deep breathing.
Okay. And I'll sort of shepherd him over with the... Okay. So, last night, some things happened after you passed out. How do you feel?
I'm hungover as shit.
Well, I gathered that
I
much.
need
but,
some water.
but how do you feel about your statue?
I love this thing. I'm glad you guys were enjoying it last night while I was asleep.
If I take this from you and break it, what would you do?
I would question why you broke my favorite statue, but if that is what helped you with your Pilates session, then I'll allow it.
Can I do an insight check to see if this is a different response than what I'd expect if he was still cursed?
Sure, go for it.
Natural 20.
Damn.
Wow.
Andy?
Yeah, he would not have given that up last night, if asked.
Yeah, virtually anything you were asking for, he wasn't handing over.
Yes. Well, he did get aggressive with Svieta.
Yes.
But typically he's just very good at sort of, he was really good at deflecting, but yeah. Well, rather than that, let's maybe put it on the table for now, and then we can come back to it. How's that sound?
Sounds good. I'll bring it to breakfast though, if that's okay with
If
you.
that's what you want to do, that is fine.
All right, and I put it down on the table.
Now, one more thing before we go out. I want to be honest with you because I think we're all a very close-knit party, well, as close as we can be given, 2 weeks together. I have reason to believe that the statue was cursed and that it had influenced you and that you also were cursed.
Wodun sort of looks down for a second. It does explain a few things. I was feeling a bit confused about why I was doing some of the things that I was doing.
You were very possessive.
Yes, at the time it felt like that's like why would I not be possessive? These are my things. But now that I think about it, I'm a bit confused why I did that in the first place. But that seems to the puzzle pieces are fitting together.
Have a seat, and I'll just gesture him towards this sofa that's appeared, and I'll sit on a wooden chair, pull out a notepad. Nah, I'm just kidding.
The bed is a futon. It just like
Yes, sit on this futon here.
When I was a boy, my mother gave me a statue, actually. Now that I think about it, it sat in my room. It was my favorite.
Just like frantically taking notes.
I didn't know you had a degree in psychology as well.
He doesn't.
I don't.
I thought he was all surgical. Oh no, there we go.
Well, you do look yourself today. You look good.
Thanks, Horacio.
Well, should we go stretch out these Let's go and do some yoga.
And I'm gonna see you downstairs.
Hey, I don't know much about yoga, but I got that. All right, I'll go and check that everyone's sitting cross-legged and thinking about their day, and I'll join them. And you just join us when you're ready.
I've got a room reserved downstairs. Greg's bringing a table in for me.
Perfect. I was going to ask, but I'm glad you beat me to it.
You head outside. Actually, Greg's part of the Pilates class. He was talking about how he needed to do something about his back.
Morning, Greg.
Oh, morning, sir. Oh,
Stretch out those table-pulling muscles.
me back specifically. I hope you have something for me back.
Greg, I'll give you some beginner's poses. I can already tell you're not going to be able to do most of my class.
I can't do much of anything except pulling tables, sir.
I can see you've bought my requested table here.
Yes, well, we have to actually bring it upstairs, because I thought maybe up on the battlements, like one of the... You could see it in the morning sunlight. Do we need the table, sir?
Yes.
Okay, can you help me with the table, sir?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've got a class, Greg. If you can go get that, I'll just bring it in quietly when you come.
Okay, this is heavy.
Everybody, please take a seat facing towards me. Start laying face down, hands in front of you, and arch your back. Yes, now transition to downward facing dog cliff. Hold. Deep breath. 3. 2 more. Deep breaths. Okay.
And so as the class continues and Wodun starts getting people from pose to pose, you see in the corner an old man dragging a table into the hallway.
So and quiet to see this.
Sorry, sir, it's a little bit loud. We fade back out, and what we can see is Wodun, whilst hungover, happily teaching this class. Everyone's sort of spread around, looking at him, and behind him we can see one of the arrow slits, right, that look into the care, and through it the dull light of Icewind Dale shines through. And so what that means is we'll see you next week on Reflex Save.
Oh my god, not ending on a cliffhanger for once?
Hold that pose for a week.
What's up with the sizes at that coffee shop? Why is a grande not the largest size?
It's venti, isn't it?
It's Masai.
Masai.
It's that fucking
Thanks, Jerry.
Genshin Impact character. Venti.
Isn't it?
Are you struggling to schedule game nights, or worse yet, having them cancel at the last minute, turning your tears of joy into tears of despair? Yes. Well then, happy Tuesday! My name's Nick.
And my name is Alan, and we are Into the Dungeon, a duet-style actual play TTRPG podcast with one GM and one player. Don't let anybody tell you that size matters.
Oh no.
And come, give us a listen to see how much fun a TTRPG can be with just 2 people.
We release a new episode every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central European Time. Make sure to visit us at www.i2td.com. That's the digit 2.
Until then, farewell, and hope to see you again as we delve into the dungeon.